Good afternoon and welcome to the Windsor Star's Net News at Noon. I'm Craig Pearson with Don McArthur, bringing you the best from the paper and the web. CTV News is reporting that schoolgirl killer Karla Homolka is planning on applying for a pardon as early as July 5th. The report suggests that Homolka wants to get a pardon in a hurry before Parliament increases restrictions. Homolka was released in 2005 after serving 12 years for manslaughter in the deaths of Kristen French and Leslie Mahaffey.
2.1 million smackers. That's how much money is lying around in dormant Windsor bank accounts, about 2,500 of them, according to a front page story by reporter Dulcin Chen. Now, one of these accounts has a whopping $250,000 in it, and it has gone untouched since 1999.
It's mine. FIFA has filed charges against the Bavaria Brewing Company for allegedly implementing a guerrilla marketing campaign. Bavaria sent in 36 Dutch women in skimpy orange dresses to the Netherlands-Denmark game.
Yeah, apparently the stunt, I guess, didn't sit that well with Anheuser-Busch and Budweiser, which is the official sponsor of the tourney.
Anyway, the Summerfest that almost didn't come down to the downtown area for the first time in 52 years kicks off this weekend. Summerfest unfolds on, yes, the riverfront, not at the WFCU Center, and it seems like there's going to have a lot of fun stuff that's new this year, including some motorcycle stunt demonstrations, BMX bicycle show, and an all-new parade route for Canada Day.
All right. And some grade 10 literacy test results were released by both school boards today. Now, the Catholic School Board, they upped the provincial average by 1%, with 85% of the kids succeeding. The Public School Board, now they trailed the provincial average by 2%, with 82% of the kids succeeding there. We're going to have more details for you later, and reporter Don Lajoie is going to have some in-depth coverage for you in tomorrow's paper.
The City of Windsor wants to improve its website and is asking people to take part in some focus groups at the end of June. If you'd like to help, you can call 311 or email the city.
And speaking of websites, a couple of cool videos for you to check out online. The first, it's a bizarre one here we have. It's of a woman in Kentbridge who fell off a horse, and now she's speaking with a thick Scottish brogue. You got to hear it to believe it, folks. Check that out. And another cool video with Andy Furlong. He's a Ward 3 resident who's complaining about motorcycles that are roaring up and down the street with straight pipes, essentially without a muffler, and he says they make a lot of noise. Now, one of the quotes he actually uses in this video is that it sounds like two squirrels are fighting in the back of his brain. So he spoke at City Council last night. He's up in arms about it, and they seem to be taking him seriously. It is an election year, after all.
A new Angus Reid survey says that Canadians don't much care about the G8 and G20 summits coming to Toronto and Muskoka, although a substantial 78% of us think that the $1 billion security tab is too high.
Anyway, and the other big news coming out of City Hall that doesn't involve motorcycles is, of course, we all knew Councillor Caroline Postma, that she didn't want to run again this year, but we were floored yesterday when Ward 1 Councillor Dave Brister, touted by many as a possible mayoral candidate, announced that he wasn't going to run for his seat in the next election.
Yeah, that is quite a shock. People have been talking about him, not just now, but for several years, saying, we think he's probably going to take a stab at the mayor's chair. But interestingly, we don't really know any of the big names who might be running for mayor yet, do we?
We'll know exactly. I mean, Mara's been silent on it, and Eddie, like we said yesterday, hasn't made up his mind.
Yeah, and it's...
And the interesting thing about Brister as well, I mean, kudos to him if he's moving on to bigger and better things, and 2 terms and out, props to that. But he was sort of seen as kind of a polarizing figure during the CUPE strike. I mean, whatever it was, he stood staunchly on the side of sort of the fiscal conservatives and whatnot. So, not sure what CUPE thinks about all of this. Francis certainly, if he does run again, is going to lose sort of a fairly staunch ally in Brister, who actually told Schmidt that he hopes Francis runs again. So
yeah, Doug Schmidt, our City Hall reporter. Yeah. You can read his stuff on Schmidt City. It's his blog online as well.
Exactly. So, I mean, file your nomination, folks. There's still that means there's going to be 2 new faces at a minimum on council next year.
Are you going to
run? No, thanks.
All right.
I run from problems, not for office. Just got to tell you, happy birthday to my dad. Online and on your porch, we are the Windsor Star.